Desert is an unfortunate word all around, and most of its usual associations are inaccurate as well as unfavorable. In the first place, the word doesn't even mean dry, but simply uninhabited and deserted, like Robinson Crusoe's island. In that case, the expanse around me is far from being a desert, for it is teeming with live things very glad indeed to be right there. Even its secondary meaning, desert, even then, it suggests to most people the rolling sand dunes of the Sahara. Something like that might be found in Death Valley, perhaps parts of the Mojave, and definitely with some added weirdness in the hundreds of square miles of New Mexico's White Sands, where the great dunes of glistening gypsum drift like the snowbanks one can hardly believe they're not. Most of my lower Sonoran Desert, however, is not at all like that. The sandy soil is firm, hard-packed. It supports life, less crowded than in wetter regions, but pleasantly flourishing. Nature doesn't frown here. She smiles invitingly. But I know no term which would do as a substitute. Mary Austin called this the land of little rain, which is better than desert. Even her phrase, though, is negative. It stresses what the country does not have, rather than what it does. Land of much sunshine would almost do. It has the advantage of seizing upon an indisputable fact. Land of too much sunshine, some might call it. But it is not, in fact, for a while at least, too much for those of us who have seldom had enough. In any event, the sun is a primary fact. The other morning, I walked out under a cloudless sky an hour or so before noon. I realized never before in my life had I seen a light so bright, so nearly a physical, tangible presence. It was not yet very hot, nor, well, not so hot at least. The heat rather than the light was the dominant fact. But never in more northern lands or moister atmospheres is one so flooded with brilliance. No heat waves disturbed the perfect stillness of the surface. By the eye alone, one might almost have supposed it cool. The silvery, new-grown spines of the Choyas gleamed with a curious frostiness as the sun poured down its light with a strange, radiant, friendly heat. Presently, one realized that of the latter there was rather too much. The ardor, like that of certain friendly people, grew gradually overwhelming. One decided to retire into one's own shade, but it's still nice to know that such ardor exists.